Hey everybody, and welcome on back to Sourceblock. Today is going to be an awesome day because we are actually going to be expanding the village. In the last episode, we helped share some holiday cheer with Mythical Sausage and met up with everybody else and welcomed Chimney Swift into the server. It was a very big episode. It was awesome. It was so fun to be doing that. I had a great time with that one. I hope you all did enjoy there. It was really fun being able to wander around the city and wander around the entire world and doing basically a mini world tour of checking out every single person's base. So that was super fun to do. I hope you all enjoyed that one. But anyways, we are back over here in our village today because I have been one busy bee. Pun totally intended. We've been gathering up so many emeralds here so that we can start trading a bunch of this stuff for all of these fancy bricks over here because we've got a lot of expansion work that we need to do on the city, and they're already in bed. Why does that happen every time I'm here? Why do you go down so fast, son? Anyways, outside of that, we're going to be gathering up a lot of bricks, and what I want to do today is I want to get the village through this area to the start of that cobblestone road finished as much as we can. And I've been doing a bunch of mining, so we got some diamonds here, got some more riches to our name. We also did check up on all the shops in the last episode. I didn't quite mention it, but we made a total of 17 diamonds off of our rocket shop so far, so that's been very profitable. And I've been told by many people that if we sell just gunpowder as well, they would be very interested in that. But anyways, to get things started out today, I think it's always very helpful to show you all the plan I have in mind. So let me get that laid out over here after I gather up some more bricks. For today's build, we need to first off also gather up a bunch of spruce wood. So thankfully, I've been growing these trees here forever, so it's time to chop them all down and bring in some custom trees throughout this area. I've got so many good plans for what we want to be doing here. First and foremost, we're just bringing that main roadway throughout here, which we can use to just generally lay out our village buildings along the sides of, and I think that's going to really help us out with as we're kind of planning everything out here. What I typically do is that, and then I come over into like a spectator view from the top and take a screenshot and draw it out on my own side, and you can see the result of that here is where we're bringing in a few different structures throughout here. You'll see these different ones are overlapping on this area that we're clearing out up here is actually going to be really cool. It's going to be a brick kiln area, so where we can say we're turning the clay that we're gathering over in our clay pits into bricks. We can have a realistic way of where we can explain how that is happening, how these resources are being gathered. And then we're also going to be adding in quite a few different farming areas throughout here and moving our nether portal around just to bring things a little bit more in life. And you can see all these different trees and things coming in throughout here. Hopefully we can get all this stuff done. You'll see me do a little terraforming and everything here, but we've got a lot of work to do. So I think it's time we jump back in and get right to it. We are now through half of the emeralds that we had farmed up earlier today, but we've got a lot of stuff built up over here. Check this out. We've got all of these structures that we completed in the time lapse as far as laying them out. I've come back in here, built up the brick all the way to the top, and then added our texture variation in. We've got doorways inside most of them. I'm still working on getting the floors replaced, like we have the coarse dirt floor in here. That's what we're going to do just to get them started. So they're going to be something like that here in a bit. All these opening spots are going to be some windows, and I'm thinking this spot right here might be good for another window. That is right into that nether portal, so maybe we go right here so you can kind of see around it. I moved the nether portal just slightly. We'll probably move that into its own home here soon. I kind of want to move it somewhere up into the monastery build. But some cool things that we're going to be adding outside of those structures is this area right here is going to be another one of those farming areas that we created back over in this area, which is basically like a hot springs type thing that we're having a bunch of potato fields around here. So it's, if we can crouch through this area, it's going to look like this in the end with some andesite piled up, some snow piles, a bunch of potatoes planted, and some water running through the middle. And I think it's going to be super cool to be able to get those ones built up here, though I want to first get our houses finished up as far as the general layouts of them. We probably won't manage to get interiors done today because this has already taken quite a long amount of time. These guys over here, that one's going to be one of those cool tower bits that we've been doing, kind of like that lower down section right there. We're going to have another big old farming area out here, and we got all these tree stumps, of course, that we need to be building up. And I am most excited for building up these brick making kilns up here and a small storage room for all that. But that's all stuff that we talked about in the time lapse. So I think for now, I'm going to spend a bit of time detailing out these structures, getting some more stuff added to them, and I'll be back with you. Many hours later, the base details are in for these houses. Now we've got the roofs on most of them. I still need to get that one up there because that's going to be one of the fancy roofs like those things. So I just need to build that one out here soon. But we've got a lot of these little, like, I started adding in all of the spruce details of what we have walking through these cities. So none of the leaves are in, none of the barrels or things alongside the street sides or anything, but a lot of like the fences and everything like that. I don't know why that one's open, but just a lot of the life is starting to be added in here. So they're not just looking like those base structures that you all saw in the last clip here. Is we're slowly adding in more and more life to these areas, which I think is super cool. You all have seen me build these houses up 1,000,001 times at this point. Actually, probably 4 times at this point. 5 times, maybe. 6 houses, and 5 or 6. But anyways, I'm gonna finish up everything down here, and then we'll come and build this area up here together. I think it'll be fun to show you all the idea that I have for these brick kilns. I think those are gonna be something really cool and unique for the area, because right now we have that clay pit over to the far side. Let's take our bow out so we can be a little bit more safe up here than just with the... you're not gonna die in one hit. Okay, we got a chicken jockey coming at us now. I feel like... Ooh, we nailed him. I feel like, you know, recording at nighttime apparently is probably not the good way to go when you're trying to show off a build. Ooh, especially when we get 3 creepers. These all want revenge on me. They're like, you are farming us. And there's strays. Okay, I'm sleeping. As I was saying, we already have this clay pit down here where we're harvesting all of our clay and our terracotta and giving that a reason to exist. And right now we have all of our stonemason villagers, or whatever they're called, trapped inside of that house right there. But we don't have a way to show that we're actually turning that clay into bricks, which is why we're building all of those kilns. I feel like that's going to be a way that we can bring some more realism into our world, just really, really simply, just by adding those in here. So I think that's going to be a great addition for us. So I'm going to, as I mentioned, I'm going to get to work on everything after farming up all these creepers, because I will always take bonus gunpowder. You know, we only have like 8 double chests at this point, but I think we need some more. Wow, I am a terrible shot. And there we have it. Our nice little village street is detailed out, and I love this. It's so cool looking. It's so nice. I forgot that we never added in the chimneys while doing the roofs, and I realized that far one over there still does not have one, but that's fine for now. This is kind of everything that I wanted to do. My inventory is an absolute mess right now, but what we're going to be doing is working on that little back area right there. To get ourselves started, I need to craft up a few more brick thingies and put some other inventory stuff back in here just to get rid of a few things. Let's just go ahead and drop a few of these in here, and that's enough space cleared, hopefully. And then we can do that. We want to definitely get a bunch of stairs for ourselves, and we also want to get quite a few brick slabs. And then I really also want some oak trap doors. We're a little low on oak wood right now while we're kind of working towards building up those trees, so I don't want to use too much of this, but let's see if we can make all 40 of these into 14 trap doors. That's a lot less than I was kind of hoping we would get. I always forget, because inside my own single player world, I've changed the recipe over to give you 12, because, you know, trapdoors are tiny. It should not take 6 pieces of wood to give you... Wow, there's a lot of mobs. It should not take 6 pieces of wood to give you 2 tiny trapdoors. I get like the whole, like, there's a mechanic of turning to them, but like, come on. Ooh, sniped in the butt. Okay, so these areas, what I want to do for our brick kilns over here is start ourselves out by doing a little something like this, and let's get all these stairs on here. This is going to be our front entrance, where we're going to be kind of entering the bricks into the area, and then we're going to have this as like our little way for them to get inside here. What we're going to be doing on the base of this is adding in some magma, I think, and maybe some campfires underneath the magma. We have this kind of little plus shape of space left in here, and I think we can use some stairs, because I don't want this to be too crazy. I want it to be pretty flat on top, and just because it's going to be very, very warm, we don't really need that much space for there to be a lot of, like, worry about snow on top of here. These things are going to be cooking all day long. And a cool little bit of detail that we can add to the back here, actually, is coming back here. Probably need an easy way to get inside. So maybe we go with this route right here, is where we're going to be adding in a spruce trapdoor right there. So what this allows them to do is a very terrible way of explaining this, but more or less we need to bake the bricks inside of here. This area is going to be very, very hot. And you can think of like this front side right here, whenever this thing is open, like that, if you open this right away, you would just get so much hot air moving out towards you that it would probably burn whoever's here. So what we can do first and foremost is you open up this side, allow a little bit of that heat to travel out where it's going that way, and then you come in here in the front and you can take everything that you need out of there. So let me spend a little bit of time decorating these 3 out, and I'll show you all the final product of those ones. I thought for some reason I might have some magma blocks on me, but I definitely don't. So we're coming out here very quickly, and we're just going to be running over to where the end portal is, and I think there's a magma area over there, just kind of on the ground. I do have some rockets, and I do have some, ooh, where is, oh, wow, he is on top of me. Wow, I'm almost dead. I'm almost dead. I'm almost dead. Oh, no, we're gonna die. We're gonna die. We're gonna die. We're gonna die. No, no, please, no, please, no, please, no. Okay, we're healing. We're healing. That's good. That's good. Oh, gosh, we're on 1 heart right now. Oh, that was bad. That could have been very bad. As I was going to say, though, is Secret Santa's coming around here. We're going to be drawing names here very, very shortly for that one. I don't know who we're going to get, but let me know in the comments below if you have any good ideas for Secret Santa gifts for people on Minecraft servers. Speaking of that wither skeleton that was attacking us, we're currently the only person on the server with a beacon, so I thought it could be maybe kind of cool to whoever we get, we give them an actual beacon, because we can pretty easily kill a wither now, because, you know, we are professional wither killers on Sourceblock here. But I thought it kind of made a cool present, because I want to make whatever present we get here, if it's somebody who needs like something very, very unique, or somebody who's like really, really in needs of something that we can do a bit of grinding for, but I definitely want to put some time in towards this present. I don't want to just be like, what do I have in my inventory here? So let me know ideas that you all have. You think if a beacon could be a good way to go? Like, I feel like that'd be a great Secret Santa present, is here's a freaking beacon. Like, I feel like that's a good way to go. Boy, doesn't that look toasty in there. Ooh, I really like this one. I've changed the design up a little bit from now and moved this thing up a bit instead of having it down there. And I'll show you all what we're doing on that one. But first, let's try and make sure we don't kill ourselves. What we want to do here is take out all of these blocks and just kind of leave them like that. And since we broke these two out, let's do bam and bam. And then we can do another one right here and do a little campfire guy right down there. And then we can bring in our magma blocks, where this is the part where we really don't want to kill ourselves. And if you crouch on magma blocks, you don't take damage, just as a heads up. And then what I've been doing here is bringing in some areas where we can lay some clay down. So these would be like, you put them in their molds, and you put them in here on top of these racks, and then this can be where they all cook, because you don't want to just throw in a heap of clay. Then you're just going to get a heap of just this bricky stuff that isn't bricks. Like, you couldn't do anything with it. So anyways, on the front here, we got this one, and we're just going to bring that guy up right to here. And then over on these sides, instead of having all these ones like this, we actually brought in one that was going to be upside down. So we bring in one right here that's upside down, and then we bring in the rest of them being the regular, just right side upstairs, facing the outside. And then that upside down one creates this little tiny area where the heat, because you know heat rises, it doesn't just go to the side, it goes straight up more or less. So we're going to be throwing in that guy right in there. And then we can just use a slab and a slab right on top of that, and that kind of caps them all off. And that's the general idea for these. This area over here is just going to be a small storage space. This is just where a bunch of bricks are going to be resting, waiting to be like finished cooling down so that they can be used, because you're not just going to take a molten brick out of here and then go throw it on top of a building, because you would burn your hands doing that. So we've got a few of them that we can throw around here, and it should be pretty good. I'm excited. I'm so excited for this build. I'm so excited to see all the functionality of our world starting to come together. I think it's a great ad that we've started focusing on, instead of just being like, what looks cool? Thinking of how we can explain things, and I think that's when things start to really look cool. I think I've outdone myself here, friends. This is looking so cool. I cannot wait to get these trees built up. I'm so ready. I think we're going to be tackling that one right here next afterwards. But check this out. So you kind of walk down this area, you drop down a little bit, add some just sense of this being raised up over here. And I think that's awesome. Over here, we got a bit of a snowbank right up on the edge here of just all this stuff moving around. And, you know, we could bring some acacia leaves and kind of dot those right in there and bring a little bit more greenery in here. That's going to be a big old tree coming up right here very, very soon. And then this area is now completed off with all of these bricks hanging up around here. I need to still bring in some barrels and chests and things like that just to make it a little bit more detailed throughout here. But then all of these ones are all finished up, and it's looking so good after getting this to not be grass. I think the next thing we're going to have to start talking about is explaining where we get all of this wood from, because obviously we're going to be using a lot of wood and things to heat these areas. So maybe we need to set up some place that would explain where all of the wood in our area is coming from. So I guess that means we need to get a tree mill set up and all those different things. Like, there's just so many different things that we can add in. I don't know if it's going to look weird and like break this area up too much by bringing in something right here. Is that okay? That feels a little too close. I don't really like that one right there. Yeah, I kind of want to leave this area just open right here. I think that'll be much, much better for us. And then maybe we could just like dot a barrel right here or something. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to get a barrel or something placed down in here. just so we can have a way to throw a lantern in the middle, because I don't want snow gathering up in here. Maybe we can just add a bunch of string across the area. That could be pretty good. But I think it's time that we focus on the rest of the thing. We got the farmland left to build, and we got a bunch of trees to make here. So I've run into an interesting situation here of where I just now realized you cannot hoe podzol. You do it to grass all you want. It's great. It works perfect. You can't do it to podzol. So I got to come through here and replace all of the podzol we had let grow in here due to the farming some spruce trees. But speaking of trees, all of our pine trees in the area, or whatever we're calling these things, are in, and it looks so cool in here. I love this. It's so awesome. I'm gonna keep working at this. Good morning. Well, at least for me, it's very, very early the next day. I had to take my girlfriend down to the airport at 3 a.m. And of course I couldn't sleep, so I came back and worked on this stuff a bunch more, as y'all saw through the time lapse. It's looking pretty fantastic. I love this area. It's this build that we were able to complete today with everything over here. It just looks so fantastic. Everything looks so much better. The one last thing I do want to be adding in today's video is I want to be adding in a few more of these flags that we've been dotting around. So we need some yellow wool and we need some orange wool. And that's important to note because we got to run on over. Actually, another portal's over this way. We got to run over to Spawn and check out Chosen's wool shop. I think he's got some pretty good deals over there. And I would rather buy wool than sit there and trying to shear it off of my sheep. You know what? While we're out here, beef or Slipgator had left these things here for beef. And he hasn't picked them up yet. So let's go drop them off. I swear, I didn't do anything. Somehow it broke. I pressed the button. This came up, and I'm just gonna leave it. I didn't do it. I swear I pressed the button. Something with me in Redstone. I press things and they just break, and it's just not good. And then I don't know. There we go. 4 beef from Slip, transported by Whip. From Slip by fWhip. Slip by fWhip. I don't know. So I was walking down this hallway, and I realized I have never made an actual nether tunnel. I always make big open areas like we're doing in the survival world and just have like them looking like this, but I've never actually decorated one. Is that something we should do here in a little bit? I would definitely be down to try and do that. I know this area is going to get reset, but I think it's okay. All right, here's Chosen's wool shop, and I wanted to record as we're walking into it because just listen to this. He's got a doorbell. You know, it's a So 4 stacks equals 1 diamond. Payment chest right here. So we need to bring out, does he have an ender chest? What kind of shop does not include an ender chest? What kind of quality of service is this out here? Making me bring my own ender chest out and blah, 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 blah. We got to get our wallet though. We got fWhip's wallet here ready to go. And we need to bring out 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to buy a bunch of this stuff. So it's 4 stacks for 1 diamond. So I want to get, so if we go 1 diamond, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We go 2 diamonds, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we can get some orange. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There we go. There's 4 diamonds. That is the best 4 diamonds I've ever spent in my life. That is so good. 4 diamonds, 4 stacks for 1 diamond. That, oh my gosh, I love that. That's a great price. I am shopping here more often. And I love the doorbell. And I'm taking my treasure chest back with me. I do have to say though, I'm always amazed by how little amount of banners you can get out of wool, because it's 6 wool for 1 banner. So we got quite a bit of them. I already placed them around the area, so we've already used a good chunk after that. And most of the 16 stacks of wool we just bought are already they're like half gone at this point. But this, you can see like one hanging out right back in there. We got one stationed right over there, and we got another one back in that way. I think I just added in the 3 for now. And we have these guys that they've been chilling here the entire time. I haven't looked at your trades yet. Ooh, 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 ooh. We need to get those. We need to get a lot of those. Those are going to be used for some good pranks moving forwards. We definitely need a lot of these puffer fish. Come here, buddy. And 4 free buckets. Worth it. One cool detail I wanted to point out real fast while we're walking through here one final time was that right here, this one comes right up to the edge of the roadway. So I added in a cauldron out here and this white banner, so it looks like you could come up here and wash your clothing real fast. And also all of the seagrass that we have in here, this is here so that the water doesn't freeze. And then it's also not just a half slab. I want to get a little bit more depth to it. But if you're seeing seagrass in the water throughout the places, it's so that that can't be turned into ice. But anyway, so we got a little clothes washing area right over here, which I think was pretty cool to add. And I did add in quite a few of these little dudes. Some little tiny wagons, and what I was talking about earlier in the episode was how I didn't want to fill this central area with things, was so that it would be something that would make sense for having a wagon walking through it, or like a wagon being able to move up here to bring in the clay or whatever that it needs to bring for the bricks, so we can have the little cart in here. So I just threw one of those little guys in the middle, and I think it works out pretty well. I did start adding in a bit of string throughout the area, but it started to look very stringy. Like you can see the texture pretty easily. So I kind of just left it as is, but I think everybody, that's going to have to do it for today. We've done so much work here. I've had so much fun on this one. Next episode on Sourceblock, we're going to be tackling this mountain a little bit further and starting the actual monastery build, which I am so excited for. So thank you all so very much for hanging out with me today. You all have a fantastic rest of your day. Please be sure to hit that like button if you did enjoy. It is the holiday season after all, so a like would be very much appreciated. It is free to do after all, and it helps me out a bunch. But anyways, subscribe if you're new, if you really enjoyed the stuff, and I'll catch y'all on the flip side.